Hey everybody, this is Smashing Game Time. We are three brothers, that's right, three brothers who talk about video games. We break them down yearly and quarterly now. I am Nick. To my right, who is this asshole to my right?
Oh, I'm that asshole named Jacob. And to my right,
I am the other jackass known as Josh.
We are just a bunch of assholes and jackasses talking video games. Before we get started, though, if you haven't already, like and review us on Apple Podcasts. I think you can do that on Spotify now, too. Leave a friendly... I think you can. Leave a friendly... You know, I was listening to a sports podcast, and the way he says... So it's Bomani Jones, and he says, leave 5 stars. If you leave 4 stars, I'm inclined to think you're a hater. And I love that. And I was like, that is really good. But yeah, if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and leave a review.
and 4 stars.
4 stars. Today, we are talking about 2008 Q3. But before we do that, we had a week off for the holiday. It was Passover, Easter, and Ramadan. It was like mega holiday, all in one. How's everybody feeling after a week off?
I feel great. I mean, like I start my new job in a couple of days, so it's good to have a month off and not working.
Yeah, I'm just exhausted. You know, I'm a homeowner. I have to take care of the house, and I have a wife who wants to do projects.
Oh,
Man, shut up.
The plight of the modern homeowner. Oh, this bathroom could use new tile.
I'm sorry, you rental people don't understand the necessity to make sure your house looks good.
Hey, I call someone if something breaks.
Yeah, if something breaks, if something's not working right, I call a guy. It's quite nice.
And guess what? When you guys need help when you finally do buy houses, guess what? I'm not coming around. Don't ask for
I
help.
have YouTube. YouTube.
Yeah, we have YouTube. I'm probably gonna hire a contractor. I'm not gonna hire some random Josh off the street.
Well, no, I'm not doing like electric or plumbing. I was just taking care of the daily maintenance. Like I cut the grass, trim the yard up. I had to take some seed and spread it because we have some dandelions growing like crazy this year. So it's just normal yard
Josh,
maintenance. And then
I'm so sorry. Your war against the dandelions is just, you look war ravished. Is that a dandelion behind you? I think there's a dandelion right behind you.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Fucking homo. Oh, the dandelions. They're just ravaging my yard. I have to take care of them.
So now that this is recorded, here in the next 10 to 15 years, when either of you buy a house or Nick Gus puts you in a house, I'm going to remember this, and I'm going to replay it every time you mention something about your yard.
I've always, because like, I'm not a homeowner. Let me put it personally on the podcast record. I am not a homeowner. I do not see myself owning a home for quite some time. It sounds like a prison for the most part because you have all your money in this thing. You're having to do all the work on this thing, and you might not be able to go out as much as you want to or go do things outside of killing dandelions in your backyard.
I think I'm in the wrong podcast.
So that's okay. That's your guys' problem, though, is you guys think of the negative parts. But think about this. Where I'm putting all my money towards something to eventually own it once my mortgage is paid off, you guys are paying towards some asshole to sit on his ass and bitch about how you guys aren't paying enough.
Homie, we're all paying for boxes that we're eventually going to die anyway.
It's
all boxes. You pay to live in a box, rent or own it. You pay to fucking die in a box.
I'll see. That's why I said when I'm 65 years old, my kids are old enough, and I have at least one grandkid. I'm going to take my children out. They're going to put me down next to the lake, and they're just going to put one right behind my head.
What is this?
Look at the flowers, Josh. What has everybody been playing this week? In the box that you either rent or have bought. What is everyone playing?
So the box I don't own, but I pay rent for. I've been playing. I actually back into Brawlhalla. I actually just played in a tournament last night.
Toxic.
That's a play, so that was cool. $15 in my pocket. I mean, that's probably gonna be for a giveaway. But just Brawlhalla and TFT.
Man, the viewers are going to be beating down the door for that $15 prize.
Dude,
trust me.
We need
These
that.
Kids, when there's like any dollar amount on the line for a tournament, kids was swarming.
Oh, and it has to be you can't. I did physical rewards for a few streams, and it's just a pain in the ass logistically. Like, oh, you live in fucking Germany? This is going to be expensive.
Yeah, it's always got to be logical here. Like, they're not ever going to give away physical stuff.
Yeah, Nick has taught me to do everything digital, or if it's going to be physical, they have to be located in one of the U.S. states.
It's just a lot of work. I sent one 3D model off. It cost me like $15. It wasn't even. It was like this big. It was
Yeah, I know. I
Well,
printed it for you.
Yeah, I know.
a lot of these tournaments, they'll have like a server region that it like that's the tournament where it's only allowed for that, unless you want to play in the U.S. but live in Japan. Good luck, because your connection's gonna be shit.
I've been playing Genshin
Can't
Impact.
say that.
Can't say that, Josh. Not at this climate.
I could have said he was beating
So,
them.
so how is Genshin Impact?
So I think of it as more content to Breath of Wild, basically, because obviously it plays very similar to it as far as the glider and stamina mechanic and stuff like that. So I've been enjoying it. I've been playing it for the past 2 weeks because I remember
Gotcha game.
No, it is, but I'm not paying any money for it. I'm
They
doing
got
all the
'em.
free stuff.
They
I
got
got you.
Yeah, I'm doing all the free stuff. So like right now, like I'm not very far compared to what other people are because they are like years ahead of me at this point. But what I've played so far, I've been enjoying it, and it's something to do on the side.
I've been playing stuff for reviews. So I did that Oil Tycoon game, which I can't do. I can't do any more like tycoon type games. It's just they start to blend together after a while. And then I played this indie game called Lila's Skyark from Monolith of the Mines. It's their
I
second
know. I
game.
hate you. I hate you for that. By the way, I wanted that so bad.
Oh my god! Have listened to they have the whole soundtrack on YouTube and Spotify. Listen to it; it's so good. The game it's short, but it does some cool stuff. Like so it kind of does that thing that like Oddworld Stranger's Wrath did, where like all your ammo's type like kind of living type ammo, and it's like. You can tell it's a smaller team. I think it's only like 2 brothers making it. 2 brothers, and it's just a lot of fun. Like, yeah, there are some things that could be improved, but like for it being a second game, it plays really well. The music is amazing. Oh my god! Like, if you had told me that this was an indie soundtrack, I would have been like, shut your mouth, shut your fucking mouth. No way, it's that good. If you look up the song, the duet, or the drummer, and you'll be like, oh hell yeah, this is my jam.
Is it basically like a Undertale soundtrack that like you don't like? You've heard of Undertale, but you don't want to play because everybody talks about it. But you finally listen to the soundtrack, and you're like, dude, this is a freaking banger.
I always feel weird comparing it to other games because I feel like it's kind of its own thing. But if I were going to like put it in between 2 comparisons, I'd probably say it's somewhere in between Fez and Stardew Valley.
Okay.
Maybe closer to the Fez side though.
That's interesting enough. Like I said, to me, in my opinion, indie developers are doing a far better job when it comes to developing everything from soundtracks, gameplay, mechanics. I mean, it just all in all, because all these AAA title companies are like, well, who they're going to measure? They're going to pull the measuring tape. They're going to say, okay, who can throw out the greatest looking game possible with the shittiest mechanics, and nothing works on day one.
Well, and I think stuff is like market research to death in those bigger devs. So like Naughty Dog with The Last of Us 2, like I watched like a small little doc video about how they had a whole team that was dedicated to one of the factions, the way they whistled at each other, and they were communicating through whistles. And while it's really cool, you're like, that's a lot of fucking money to spend on a team that's whistling, that just focus on whistle. They're focusing on whistle dialect. Like, oh, when they whistle like this, that means that they are aware of an enemy in the area.
Game of the year.
That just means from now on, though, like when they start to develop future games, rather than letting their other teammates know what's going on, that they're communicating that with like, Jared, we're on the same team. Quit whistling.
I mean, I like The Last of Us 2. I just thought, I was like, come on, guys, this is a little extra right here.
Fun fact, I've never played it.
Oh, could you put a PS4 disc in your PS5?
Yeah.
I could lend it to you.
I don't need it right this second because I still haven't even beat God of War 100%. So
God damn it,
Nick, he's liquidating his house.
God
Leave
of
him
War.
alone.
He's too busy playing God of Dandelions. He can't beat God of War. All right, so folks, today we're doing Q3 2008. We made a change up. We finally found a format we're landing on. We picked out the 5 standouts. We're going to talk about them for a little bit. We've got a few news things to talk about, not too many of those. And then I've got a little quiz about the Summer of Arcade, because this is right around the time the first Summer of Arcade from Microsoft and Xbox came out. So I'm going to quiz Jake and Josh on that, and the winner will determine who's doing next week's Speed Cap. You guys ready to get started?
yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's get started. Josh, what do we got first on the list here?
First, July 30th, we've got Geometry Wars Retro Evolved 2.
So you know what's crazy about Retro Evolved 2 to me is that it's based off a game that wasn't even its own game for the longest time. It was because Geometry Wars 1 was originally like an arcade game you could find in, I think it was Project Gotham Racing 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And so then they put the first game out on its own on Xbox Live, and then they were like, fuck it, let's do this. And I forgot that this version had multiplayer. Or this game had multiplayer.
And I don't care for it because there's no leaderboard. Yeah, you would want, because I remember just trying to. I mean, I played this game a lot growing up, and just wanting to get higher on the leaderboards. But
there was no leaderboard for the multiplayer.
No, not a leaderboard for multiplayer at all. So it was kind of like annoying. I was like, well, this sucks. There's no reason for me to play it unless I just want to be competitive against whoever's with me at the time.
That would have been so cool because this came with 6 game modes out the gate, and if I remember the screen correctly, like each game mode had a scoreboard with your friends on it, so you could see where.
Correct.
So it's kind of like how PS5 is right now with like the different I think Astro's Playroom, or was it Sackboy? Like you can see where someone's speed is on something. So that was like a very the leaderboards were a very integral part of the single player. So you would think it'd be cool to like see you and a buddy name next to each other on a leaderboard.
So I saw it in the video. That's why I'm getting ready to ask this question. I saw the friends leaderboard they had on there, and then it looked like before you clicked on the mode, they had people's names and points lined up.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the friends still, or was that?
That was the friends.
That was
still.
the friends. Okay.
Yeah, and if this video ends up going into the main menu, they have the 6 modes of the game lined up next to each other, and there's like a scoreboard above each one to show you where you are in relation to your friends.
And didn't you, to unlock each mode, didn't you have, and I might be thinking of 3, but didn't you have to go through each, so you had to start with the basic mode?
You basically had to have a successful run of one game mode to unlock the next.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, because three was kind of like an adventure kind of thing where you had to go through each level had its own different map, its own different rules and stuff. And that one with each level had a leaderboard. So that was pretty cool because I remember on one of the modes or one of the maps, I was in the top 100 when the game first came out.
So for those listening to audio who don't know what Geometry Wars is, this is like a bullet hell, score, like a score dash game or whatever, the score runner game, where basically you're a little ship shooting these different shapes. It gets pretty crazy. You picking up little bug looking things that multiply. I think these bug things were new. The bug things weren't originally.
They didn't add it. They didn't have it in the first one.
Yeah, the first one it was just you killed, and after a certain amount of kills, it would multiply, and it kept going up to a certain point. Whereas this one, it was the bugs, and with this one, it wasn't not as grippy. Like in the first one, I remember eventually once you got certain upgrades and killed certain enemies, the map would just be you ever seen somebody throw a rock into a lake and it would make that ring effect? It would do something like that. Where with this, it's more of the fireworks effect.
Well, and I think
this one's more colorful.
I still like the first one better than this because the first one just felt like a more this is polished. But that first one, it was just score run, no messing around game modes, just that one mode and you were in. It had 2 modes, but they were basically the same.
So with this one, all they did, in my opinion, besides add a couple modes, was do a couple things that they had for their achievements. So for example, for the first one, there was pacifism, where you had to survive a certain amount of time without killing anybody. So that was a mode on here where you had 1 life and you couldn't shoot. Then you had the evolved mode, which is what you're typically used to, what it was in the first, and then I think from there the rest of them were kind of the newish ones, the ones that are okay, hey, we're gonna throw in deadline now where you have to score as many points as possible in a certain amount of time, so on and so forth.
And then I never played the third one. I just know this, what a great way. I don't know if this was the first game on Xbox Arcade, the Summer of Arcade, but what a way to kick it off, to show that you had faith in this program, that you were this thing that people love, we're going to put the second version of this in here. Because this was still all before Steam and how crazy it got and how everything's now on Steam. Mm-hmm. So this was smaller indie type title, because this was from Bizarre Studios, same people who did the first. This was a chance to get out there and be like seen by more eyeballs that probably wouldn't have seen this stuff. Yeah, here are all the game modes right here.
Yeah,
Anything
so
else?
it was
My favorite was the sequence one, just because of how challenging it was.
I just like the Evolved. Evolved was just the
Yeah,
original.
Evolved is-
Just great.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, don't mess with the formula when it works perfectly.
Anything to add about this before we move on, boys?
I don't believe it was the first, Nick. I believe it was Bionic Commando Rearmed. I think that was the first.
You know, I was reading a list of like someone had like the best arcade games in I think it was 2012, and they had that at number 2, and I was like, really, that was your number 2 Xbox Live Arcade game? It was a terrible list. What's next? What is next, gentlemen?
August 6th, we have Braid.
Braid. So wait, they didn't close out with Braid, right?
No. Castle Crashers is, I believe, is the ones that they close out with.
So I think Braid, like the whole, let me get it up on the screen. So for those who don't know, Braid is a 2D platformer. I forget the name of the actual studio. I know the name of the guy who designed it. It's Jonathan Blow. He would go on to do,
None?
huh?
Number none. Studio.
Number none.
Yeah.
So he would do this, and then he'd go on to do The Witness, and I think it was 2015 or 2016, first-person puzzler. This game, I think we have to thank this game for every other indie 2D scroller that has come out since.
Not only that, but the more of this and BioShock for like the twist.
Yeah,
all the twists that come.
Oh
with
yeah, the
games.
twist in this game. Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
So if BioShock is the most overly essayed video game on YouTube that is a shooter, this would be the overly essayed. It's between this and Limbo being the over essayed 2D platformer games.
Yes, for sure. I mean, mechanically, so we'll come back to the twist, of course, but mechanically wise, what I found so interesting about this game was not only were the collectibles only optional. If you want to get the true ending, you had to get them, but you could play the whole game up to a certain point without having to collect a single thing.
Well, you'd have to go back to get the puzzles to get to the end of the game, though.
Well, right. Well, the 100% true ending, yeah.
Yeah, because they unlocked the path to the top room.
Yeah.
But of course, I did like how each game or each area like played with your expectations. So first one was just straight up rewinding. I think the second one, like rewinding would send you in a certain direction. So you wouldn't be like, you'd be rewinding what you did, but you weren't rewinding back to where you were. So like if you ran, it would run you forward the other way if you were rewinding. So yeah, here's that puzzle room we were talking about.
Yeah, so Nick, I think it was so they had like a title kind of thing. So like the second world, the world that he was just in, is Time and Forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
The third area was Time and Mystery. Fourth was Time and Place. 5 was Time and Decision. And then 6 was Hesitance. And then the fourth, I think, was just like, or the last one was just kind of like it's normal. This is what it truly is.
And looking at so the twist is that the guy you're playing is a fucking asshole.
Oh, he's very much an asshole.
If you look at him, if you like sit here and look at him and the way he's dressed, you're like, yeah, this guy kind of does look like an asshole, doesn't he?
You know what he kind of reminds me of?
Ed Sheeran.
No. Do you remember the guy from Titanic who?
The guy who was actually in a relationship with Rose.
Yes, that's what he reminds me of.
But if you watch, yes, he was a bad guy. But Leonardo DiCaprio fucked this girl, and she was getting drew her naked. She wasn't going to be happy in that. She wasn't going to be happy in the relationship with that guy, but she wasn't going to be happy in that relationship with Leonardo DiCaprio either. She fucking. She's
the one. So.
It's been said to death, but there was room on that door for 2 people.
Well, they did a MythBusters, and it was proved right. There was enough room, and it could sustain their weight. So.
Tim's the biggest asshole on this screen right now, but I think the second biggest asshole is anyone who says, well, they did a MythBusters and
I agree.
But yeah, so Braid, and this was the game Soldier. So this game was covered in the indie game documentary. It was this, Super Meat Boy, and Fez. And Jonathan Blow is he's very artistic. He's like, if he has a message in his game, he likes to he has it. Like he wants people to get the message of the game. And I remember there was part of that documentary where like they point out that Soulja Boy did a video, Twitch streamer Soulja Boy. They were playing Braid and like they were rewinding. He's like, this game ain't shit. You just rewind time. And like they interview Jonathan Blow after they show it to him. He's like, yeah, that kind of shit just hurts me. Because I mean, this game has a lot to say about like forgiveness and being a shitty person. And if I remember correct, I haven't played it in years, but if I remember correctly, Tim or Tim's grandfather, one of the two, was part of the Manhattan Project, which was the atomic bomb project during World War II.
I believe it was Tim himself, isn't it?
It might have been Tim.
Yeah, because that's like the whole story is he's trying to rescue, or the idea is you're rescuing the princess from the horrible and evil monster, and you're playing a game. That's what it looks like, but then you come to find out that you're the monster, and that's why she's running from you.
What a fucking twist it was too, because they put you through a bunch of puzzles, and you're sitting there trying to like you're working together. She opens a door for you, you open a door for her, and then the game's like, oh nope, and it rewinds it. It's like she's setting a trap. You break the trap, and then she runs into the knight's arms because you're just this fucking asshole.
It literally blows your mind because at first, like you said, you're like thinking like, okay, yeah, we're you're trying to rescue her and things that she's doing stuff for her, but vice versa. And then you like start to read the last journals, and it like clicks in your head because then they tell you go back and play it in reverse, and you do, and your mind is instantly blown from it.
And so so there's mentions. So for those on audio, like you put puzzles together in the game, and he's building one right now and you can't see it, but he's reaching for a glass of wine in this. And if I remember correctly, every puzzle he is reaching for some kind of alcoholic drink. And like there are little books that give you little like sentences about what's going on in the story. And I think a constant thing is his obsession with work. And then also like he's kind of got a drinking problem, that Tim guy. He likes to likes to hit the bottle.
That's a fantastic game.
Oh my God. I'm thinking about downloading it on Steam and replaying
Never beat it.
It's good, Jake.
Honestly, Jake, give it like if you have like a good day, just sit there and play it. Give it a try. It's really good.
It's not long. Like once you figure out how to mess with the puzzles and stuff, you're fine.
Yeah.
Like collecting the puzzle pieces is probably the hardest part. Putting the puzzles together is fun. Who would have thought putting a puzzle together in a game was fun?
I mean, it's 9 pieces, like a kid's puzzle.
But this, like, I think this game is the game you have to thank for like indie 2Ds like taking off like they did.
Yeah,
because it was so good.
I'll stick to my Undertale.
Anything else about Braid before we move on, gentlemen?
That's all I got.
I'm good. Yeah.
All right, what's next?
August 19th, Too Human for the Xbox 360.
This game was bad.
It was shit.
It was bad.
I actually remember kind of enjoying it, even though it was really short and terrible, but
it was bad.
So before we get into why everybody hates it so much, I did enjoy it. I think if it was given the proper amount of time, respect, and love every other game should get, this game would have been way better than it was, and I think we at least would have seen a sequel.
So Too Human was I want to say it was like a 3D hack and slash, like by Silicon Knights, the guys who did the Metal Gear Solid 1 remake. They did it was Eternal Darkness. So they had a pretty good track record up to this. And this was their Xbox 360 exclusive. They're using the Unreal Engine 3 from Epic, which was newer at this time. Unreal Engine 3, their first game on that, I think, was Gears 1. And this was basically supposed to be like metallic, like... What were they? Were they Greek gods, but they were futuristic Greek gods or something like that?
Norse mythology.
Norse mythology. Okay.
Yeah. So like they are. I can't pronounce the name. It's like Asir. They portray that, but they're tasked with like hunting Loki's army, basically.
Oh. So just reading this, the game was notable for having remained in development hell for almost 10 years.
Yeah, it was originally supposed to be released on the PS1. Yeah, in 1999. They had their first release, and then it was stuck in hell purgatory for almost 10 years.
And then they switched development for GameCube in 2000, and that didn't work out at all.
They had a sweet spot. I think working with GameCube and Nintendo and Konami of all places really helped them grow, and then they kind of set out to do this thing. Oh, look at that Xbox achievement pop up. Oh my god.
Nostalgia.
I'm going back. This looks bad.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna say
It's
I
so
remember
slow.
enjoying it. It is very slow.
How is it so slow? So this is the game that ultimately shut down Silicon Knights because they got Sue happy with Epic Games. Epic Games sued them back. Silicon Knights said that some of the stuff that Epic was saying about Unreal Engine 3 wasn't true, and then Epic was like, "Hey, the shit you're saying out in public right now is kind of like you're giving out trade secrets, you bastards." And eventually Epic won. Physical copies of this game got taken off the shelf. The digital version got taken off. I think it's back up now. I think it was back up as of 2018 or 2019, according to this article I read. But just how can you look at this and be like, this is fun? Look, it's gray. It looks like they're just like, hey, you like the Ark and Halo? We're gonna give you the Ark and Halo.
So I think what made me interested in it, and I actually played it all the way through, is it had a very much like the aesthetic reminded me of Mass Effect. I think at this point Mass Effect's already out, right? We did talk about Mass Effect.
Mass
before.
Effect for one was 2007. Yeah, 2007.
Yeah.
Everyone like circle jerks 2007, kind of like how they circle jerk 1999 for movies, like, oh, The Matrix.
Yeah. But I think that's one of the reasons why I kept it, because it's like aesthetically it reminds me of, as far as like the HUD, character design, stuff like that. It's aesthetically pleasing, and it reminded me of Mass Effect.
Josh.
You know what it reminds me of? Something I put in the toilet.
Josh, I have news for you. If you like this for the aesthetic of Mass Effect, I've got these great games for you called Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3 that you could play instead of playing this.
So I have all three, the originals. I have the Legendary Edition, and I have Andromeda. So
Josh takes
the shit
N7.
one?
Josh takes N7 day off from killing dandelions.
I killed the Gath every time.
Anything else about this before we flush the toilet on it, Josh?
Flush the toilet.
Just look it up. Don't buy it unless it's like $1.
You're really
Just look it
selling.
up.
You're really look it up. You don't have to buy it. Just look at it, please.
Okay, let me leave it this. If it's more than $10, look it up. If it's under 10, consider it. If it's $1, buy it.
Do you have a sealed
That
copy
thing
of this
that
game?
comes out of you after your
I
Taco Bell
don't, because
dinner,
I did.
more
didn't know it
enjoyable
was
than
on
this
Steam.
shitty game.
Nick, how much is it on Steam right now? Do you know?
I'm not even gonna look for you.
Okay,
I'm curious.
I'm curious.
All right,
curious.
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
It's not on Steam.
Womp womp womp.
Nick, did you say it was on Steam?
No, it's on.
No, he said
it
it's
was up
back
on the Xbox
online.
Marketplace.
Okay, let's see what it is on the Xbox Marketplace.
I think they put it up for free. Do we know? Look,
I don't.
what is this dumb game, Josh?
Yeah.
It is free.
It
is totally free.
He's carrying him. That metallic angel just came down and said, "I'm taking you, boy," and now he's floating back up to do God knows robot.
He's going to Valhalla.
Beat me up.
Man,
Do you guys not know Norse mythology?
if I died and a robotic angel came down to get me, I'd be like, no, I want to die. I want to double die right now. Please, no.
Anyway, it's free on Marketplace. Give it a try if you've got it.
No, don't listen to this
Xbox.
clown.
Please
Just
don't.
give it a try. Get yourself some free achievements. How about that?
What's next?
August 27th, we have Castle Crashers.
Hell yeah. Love it.
This game. This was actually a hard game back in the day.
Made by the Behemoth, same guys that made that Alien game.
Yeah, Alien Bahamut, they went on to do Pit People. They just kept on basically making Castle Crashers for like the last 10 years.
They need to make another one, like a sequel or something. It's
Because
so
what-
good.
This looks like a new ground. It's new, so it's new grounds basically, like that background of people, right?
Yeah.
Who did all these. This game had so much, like it had way more depth than it should ever have had.
It had combat, it had sex appeal, it had witty jokes.
I mean, you got all the different weapons you can collect and store in like that little creature. You've got all the animals that give you additional abilities. 4-player co-op. I know the game had issues out the gate with the multiplayer, but once it got working, like so much fun.
Yeah,
like
I mean, first off, No, good.
I mean, people. I mean, you remember the arcades? People like The Simpsons. People like the X-Men games like this. I forget what other ones that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's the side scroll beat 'em up for those not watching the video version of this.
Hack and slash.
I mean, like, what a way to end the summer. Like, this is the reason why Summer Arcade lasted for so long. This, like, you started out strong or weak, but you ended it so strong with this.
Fucking Bionic Commando. Get out of here with that shit.
I think
mean,
that was
in the
more of a
game-
nostalgia thing, but
The game kept on getting released too. The last release was PS4 in 2019
Josh, you said
and Switch.
there was a funny moment to click to. Where is that?
2927. I said for comedic, whatever. What was the exact word you used?
Oh, is it the
Comedic
it's
effect.
the-
Yes.
This level was ridiculous. The
Yeah,
fart,
like-
the
What
shitting
was
deer.
he wanted the one deer.
It cracks me up because like the whole time, all the animals, every time you hear like the ground shaking from this guy, somebody is like shitting their pants. There's
Mhm.
the owl within the first 15 minutes, the deer here who's being projected by his
That bear.
shitting.
Did none?
That
Okay, I was
bear.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
the
did none of
bear.
them get the shitting deer? No, the shitting deer is
No,
there.
blue guy.
He's
No,
fine.
the blue guy. Blue guy's got it.
got
The shitting deer is always there. Yeah.
Oh god, I forgot their humor can be kind of blue, but I love it. The one thing, and this is just like what's the term? The 2020 vision. The one thing in hindsight. The one thing in hindsight is after playing Pit People, I wish there was like an annoying narrator like Pit People has. Because Pit People's kind of the same setup. It's people on an abandoned island like fighting through like puzzle levels, but there's a guy in the background like, "Oh, you did it, you dipshit." someone
do
just
love
sitting
those.
there like berating you the whole time, because that feels like it would be
I
this would
want
be
it
perfect for
to.
it.
I want it either like that or like the narrator from Bastion.
That one, like just some cheeky narrator or someone, because like this is an epic, and this is like an epic adventure, so you'd think you'd have like an epic narrator.
Yeah.
I just feel like when they finally see him for the first time, he'd be like, "Oh, holy shit," or something like that. Like we're not expecting it.
But yeah, this would be the game that 4-player co-op would be, I mean, model it, like non-first person shooter co-op would model itself after
It's
this.
a great game.
It's a fantastic game, not only for what you're seeing now, but just the content that comes with it. Like, 'cause not only do you have to go back, collect all the animals, collect all the weapons, but then you go back and you can do hard mode. Then you also have all the additional characters. Even with the new releases, they had new characters come out. Like, I think there's like a Black Knight. There's a skeleton now. I mean, there's just so many characters you can unlock.
Just the depth of like selections and stuff, and like games were doing this for a long time, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like this kind of drove like the Borderlands craze we would see later on.
Yeah.
Just with like, I don't know, I'm not a big Borderlands guy, but I always thought like, oh yeah, you have like a million guns you can choose from. Just having that weapon selection, and it felt like there were a million weapon selections in this game.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of games are actually steering away from the whole multiplayer thing. Like, you don't notice how Halo doesn't do 4-player story mode anymore.
Well, they're working on putting
They're-
the co-op in. That was something they had to shelf to like get the main story out by this past December deadline.
Yeah, so it's August 28th, I think, is what their roadmap said.
Oh
when
yeah,
it comes out.
they pushed it because it was supposed to be like May or June, and they pushed it back again. But yeah, I could see like, because I think I won't say this game is responsible for like the looter shooters that we saw later down the road. I'd say that's more thanks Diablo. Speak of the devil, but like I don't know. Like this felt like more of the fun co-op as opposed to like the looter shooter co-op. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, you can have your friends come over. You guys can like, have a few drinks and play this game and have fun.
This was still couch co-op at this point, right?
Yeah.
This
no,
is-
you can, well, I mean, you can play it online too.
Yeah,
but
you can play it
Right,
online.
but it was couch co-op is still a thing though with this.
Man, bring couch co-op back. Come on, dudes.
I mean, Nick, just think about it though. How do you think we all played it? This is when we only had one Xbox.
Yeah, this is on the couch. You're right. I just we got so far away from couch co-op, and I miss it. We need it back.
I hated this boss.
Trying to remember. Oh, this is the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird.
this was like the second hardest boss in the game.
I think this was the hardest, honestly.
No,
I think the organ, when you fight the guy for the first time on the organ, I think he was hard.
Yeah, he was tough. I've never been like games like this. The levels where like you're not actually walking, you're on like a surface that you're just surfing around. I've never been so like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had it with like
your
the
typical
sewers.
water levels.
Yeah, not man. Video games and water. Can you name a Nemesis more famous? Anything else about Castle Crashers?
Great
Just
game.
like I said, but yeah, fantastic way to end Summer Arcade and to keep it a tradition for like
5 more
God, I
years,
think-
something like that.
2008 to 2013. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Bring it back. What's
Or make a sequel or something.
what's the last thing we got here, Josh?
Last one we got August 31st, Mercenaries 2, World in Flames.
Oof. Man, this one hurts because I liked Pandemic back in the day. Because I was a really big Destroy All Humans fan. So Pandemic was really known for their third-person shooter type games. This was open world, like do missions. You know what? I'm gonna say it, Josh. I'm gonna say it. This was a better Army of Two.
How dare you, sir?
How many
But you take that
how
back-
many people you play though? You play more than one though, right?
No, it's
played-
just one. It was just one person in this one. This game also. I'm gonna play this for the audio people and the people on video. You guys might not hear it. This game also had a world-renowned song.
Oh no, oh no, yo, 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 oh no, you didn't. Sucker tried to play me, but you never paid me, never.
Need to listen to it.
Oh no, you
didn't.
Payback is a coming, you will be running forever. Oh
glad I
no,
can't hear
you didn't. Until I get my vengeance, I will never
So bad.
end this mayhem. Oh no, you didn't. I'm a mercenary, you ain't got a prayer, you owe me. Oh no, you
Oh, is it the main theme?
Yeah, it's if you just look up Mercenaries 2, oh no you didn't. That was a song that ran in the ad for this game. For our audio listeners, this game, third person shooter, right behind the back, so it wasn't quite like the Gears of War of this time where you were taking cover. It was very much if you know Just Cause, it looks something like that. Shooting down bad guys. You weren't messing with anything like your modern third person shooters today where you're climbing towers or like this was Pandemic's last well-received game, because after this they'd go on to do a Lord of the Rings game that was and then they'd do the Saboteur, which was the I think it was you were liberating France from Nazis.
Yeah.
I'm not a saboteur, but that's what I remember. They had color schemes. A lot of it was like gray and black, but then there was some red. Kind of looked like some Frank Miller stuff from the comics back in the day. This game was the reason I bring it up was because Pandemic had a healthy trajectory. They had the Destroy All Humans franchise. They had this franchise.
Battlefront 2.
They did
and
Battlefront
1.
2 and 1 from the sounds of it. And EA bought them in 2008. I think BioWare was involved in that somehow. I forget what it was. And then they were promptly closed in 2009. The EA squeeze is real, my guys.
Yeah.
Pandemic. Oh my God. Like Destroy All Humans 1 and 2 are like all timers for me.
Well, literally, we just need. Okay, so 2004 to 2006, you've got Star Wars Battlefront,
Yep.
Destroy All Humans,
Yep.
Battlefront 2,
Yep.
Destroy All Humans 2. 4 fantastically received games within 3 years. And then from there, 3 years later, they're no more.
And then EA pops in and says, "Gotcha, bitch,"
Yep.
and then shuts him down. Has this aged well? No. But this looks like oh wow. Back in 2008, I would have loved this.
So I mean, okay, so for the audience who doesn't know, the video caption for this was the game title, 4K, 21 whatever I said it was, 2160. Like, it does not look good. Like, for a already 14-year-old game, it does not look that good in 4K.
There are some games from 2008 that have aged a little better, just a little better. If you had asked me what this came out, I would have said this was the PS2 version if I went in blind.
I would have as well. Like, the only game I can think of that's super old that people still like compare graphically and everything is still Crysis. Everybody still uses Crysis like a test bench for their computers when they're testing as far as graphics, processing power, stuff like that.
I mean,
Just saying.
I'm just shaking my head because Pandemic had it. They were doing great, and then EA's like, "Hey,
We're gonna buy you.
we kind of want to fuck you up. Can we? Are we allowed to do that? Can we? Can we please? Can we please fuck
Consents.
you up?"
Oh, they paid. Don't worry.
Oh, they paid.
They signed.
Any parting words on those, gentlemen? Give me a second to look something up while you guys talk about those games. Summer of Arcade. Anything about any of those games we talked? Anything we didn't talk about that you want to get like a quick word in?
I mean, Summer Arcade was great. I mean, each game was like what, $20 a piece, if not less. It was great.
To those, speaking of Pandemic, a lot of the developers who were on those games went ahead and actually just got employed by 343 Industries and Infinity Ward.
343.
Yeah, so just so you like, their talent didn't go to waste. They went to great companies, but
I just feel like I mentioned this before, that now companies are more going towards the competitive side of video games since esports is a growing industry.
which
But that's just me.
I understand. I understand that too. Like I can see like you want to be in the market for it, but unless you're bringing something new to the table, why bother? Like if you're gonna copy Fortnite or if you're gonna copy Smash Brothers, unless like you're the first imitation that's available to all, like for obviously reasons, Brawlhalla Jake, I'm not trying to bash them, but they were probably created in the sense of they liked Smash Brothers enough, but obviously it's only a Nintendo exclusive where you want something to branch off in all these other consoles. So you make your own version, boom, you got a game that everybody can play on any console and with each other, right?
And it's free.
And it's free.
I mean, like, look, okay, now you got me on Brawlhalla right now. So Brawlhalla has actually had a bunch of crossovers. They've had crossovers with The Walking Dead, Capcom, cartoons like Adventure Time, Steven Universe, movies like Hellboy. They even had crossovers with Shovel Knight. They've had crossovers with almost a lot
Shovel
of
Knight's
big
been in
games.
Everything.
Oh, I
yeah,
know.
yeah, and so and I'm not trying to dig on. That's what I'm saying is like what they did was they took something that already existed, branched out, and made it better. It's not exclusive to one, and it's not all like, oh, we have all this money. It was, hey, we have an idea that would be beneficial for everyone, and we could use some help, and that's what they got, and they made something fantastic out of it. That's where
this year, and for esports, they have a prize pool of 1.5 million, I believe. Yeah.
There you go.
So they're growing. They're growing for sure.
We'll see if they keep doing it when we're totally out of the pandemic. Hey, look, pandemic. We've said it so much today. It'll be on our SEO. What we got a quick news. Let's do the news real quick.
Read all about it. Latest football scores. Morning paper. Morning Star. Paper, mister?
It's time for old news.
Yeah.
E3 2008. E3 2008, baby. I was looking up some facts about E3 2008. Does anyone know what Sony's big surprise was from E3 2008? Just throw out one guess. Throw out one guess.
Was that like the Sony Move or the little
their camera controllers?
Yeah, their motion shit.
Nope, that wasn't their big announcement. Their big announcement was God of War 3.
Oh,
I mean, that was a fun game.
Did Microsoft have a big one? I don't think Microsoft had a big one. Oh, this was so this was the year they announced, I think it was Final Fantasy 13 was going to be day and date with what Sony was getting.
Oh yeah, so because 13 was the first game to go onto the Xbox.
So that was big. And then Nintendo's was their infamous the music year and the Motion Plus.
Oh, so like I
do remember that.
A very rough E3 because other Microsoft stuff was Resident Evil 5. I remember that Resident Evil 5 like demo was very like, Oh wow, do we really want to be playing that? He's in Africa. It's a white dude in Africa shooting people. It was a very like not well received
Yeah.
demo. Fallout 3, Prince of I guess it was the cell shaded Prince of it was a very weird E3. Just reading through these notes.
I mean, like a lot of people were excited about Resident Evil 5 because it was co-op.
I think when you look back, like the co-op was fun. The co-op was a lot of fun, but I think a lot of people would have preferred a single player without an AI character with you.
So
the AI.
the co-op was a necessity. It wasn't that like you wanted it; it was a necessity to play
You
it.
needed it. You
need
needed
the
it.
second person, or
Hold
else
on,
the
hold on.
AI is gonna fuck it up.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. We have to give them credit, though. This is the game that gave us the meme of a lifetime of Chris Redfield
Chris
punching a boulder.
damn boulder.
This is so we have to give them credit. This is the year.
Oh, that's my least favorite Resident Evil meme.
Yeah.
The best Resident
Nah,
Evil meme
yeah.
is Jill sandwich.
Gibble sandwich.
Jibble sandwich.
Go back to the Nintendo though, because I keep on thinking about this. But when are we gonna get a remastered Nintendogs?
The Switch isn't a touchscreen, is it?
It is touchscreen.
It is?
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess it is. Yeah. Damn.
A Switch is basically it's a console, a tablet, it's everything.
Jake,
My
I'll
question
leave it
is,
like this.
they've been doing all they did like the Pikmin game. They've been so Niantic did Pokemon Go. They did a Pikmin game. They've got the Mario Go. They've got all these different games on phone. Why not do it on like a Nintendogs on your phone?
Nintendogs was like awesome. I don't know why they haven't like done anything about it.
It's because they want you to forget about all those dead dogs that are sitting in those cartridges in the waste.
Your
signs.
yeah,
It's like a Tamagotchi.
your Nintendo DS is just like a pile of dead puppies.
I mean, I don't think they ever exclusively said it, but like, can something bad happen to your dogs if you didn't stay like come back every couple of days or something?
I think you come
This
back.
just in, Smashing Game Time gets canceled for talking about dead dogs.
I think you come back and like there's. I remember like not playing for like a month and coming back and there being poop in your apartment and you have to like pick it up.
Oh yeah.
Like they just
I
they
don't remember.
poop, they poop. So really, you're gonna get back and it's just gonna be shit everywhere.
Is it gonna be like a Hoarders episode where like you can't walk through and like without stepping in it?
Or it's like old school Animal Crossing when you're not in your town for a while and you see all those weeds.
Yeah, that too. You're gonna get in there. It's gonna be a full-grown dog, but it's gonna see you and be like, "That's the fucker that left," and it's gonna attack you. And you have to fight. You have to like tap the screen and like try to snap its neck. Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I hit the stick down. Hit the stick down.
You're Will Smith in I Am Legend with his dog. Oh, now I'm sad thinking about that scene.
I played Call of Duty. You just
sorry.
have to hit that stick really quick.
I'm sorry. That's not gonna play well for the audio
Jesus
people.
Christ.
Oh my
Hank's,
god!
Hank's telling you not to sleep, Nick.
I think Nick just choked a dog out on the podcast.
As Nick was saying that, he was looking at Hank, who's sitting on the couch, going like, "This is for you.
This is for
Keep
you,
that shit
Hank."
up."
My dog's name is Hank, in case you're wondering. All right, guys. So to finish up the show today, I made a quiz based off of, and it's all here. It's not in the notes, so you can't cheat. Based off of Summer of Arcade. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to read the question. I want a raise of the hand, or I want a clap. So you clap if you know the like that'll be you buzzing in. And
With
if
my
you're wrong,
hands, right?
clap with your not your ass, your hands. So you'll do that, and then you'll answer. If you're wrong, the other person has a chance to take it. Person with the most points wins, and the loser has to do the next speed cap next week, and I will pick the game based off of the games we talked today.
Oh, jeez.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one will be easy because I gave it away earlier. I didn't want to do it, but it came up naturally. What rapper famously had a video where he minimizes braid to some dumb... Josh?
Soldier Boy.
That is correct. Ding, ding, ding.
I didn't hear his
Soldier
clap
Boy.
at all. He didn't clap.
He clapped. I saw his hands move.
No.
I need to see him on the screen. If you're clapping down
I
here...
did like this. I did right here.
I saw Josh.
Listen. Should there be a rule that you can't clap until the question's fully
No, if you know it, you can just clap.
bullshit?
Nobody. I wrote
This
these
is
right
not-
before the show,
This
so
is not
nobody knows them.
Jeopardy.
All right, here we go. Question number 2. Have your hands ready, gentlemen. Name a Summer of Arcade game we did not talk about today from 2008.
Galaga Legions.
Was it me or him?
Jake. I had Jake first.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was going
what?
to say Galaga Legions.
Okay,
Then you got to
that's-
say our name if you...
We
Yeah,
are
you guys say our
tied.
names. Like,
We are tied, gentlemen. Jake, I saw your hands move, but I need your hands on screen, please.
On screen? So you're watching the screen, you can't hear it?
Yeah, I'm watching the screen.
Oh, stupid.
All right. Because what Josh and I discovered is sometimes clap sounds don't go through.
yeah, like here.
That's why I don't like this whole clap thing.
That's why your hand has to be on screen, Jacob.
Yeah, be on screen.
I'm gonna
All
put
right.
my ass on the screen.
We are tied. Question 3. What was the working title for Castle Crashers?
Oh, shit. Josh, don't look it up, you piece of
Don't
shit.
look it up. I see Josh hands in the screen. If nobody knows, 3, 2, 1. I'm sorry, we are still tied at 1. The answer was Ye Old Side Scroller. The answer was
Wait,
Ye
what?
Ye
See that?
Y-E old with an E at the end after E side scroller. Oh, this next one's gonna piss you guys off. We are tied at 1. How many Microsoft points did all of the 2008 titles cost if you bought them all? How many
Wait.
Microsoft points? Go ahead. I need the total. The total if you bought them all.
But like every
All
or just
5
the year?
all 5 games.
5,000.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Josh, for this one, Josh, I want you to guess. Whoever is closest, I will give the point.
2,500.
I'm sorry, Jake is close. The answer is 4,800.
I was gonna say 4,800 too.
So for a bonus point, because this one has potential for a bonus point, how many US dollars does that translate to? 4,800 Microsoft points.
That is $50.
I'm sorry.
$50.
What'd you say, Josh?
$50.
Jake just said
That's
52,
exactly what I
you
just
idiot.
said.
It's
Yeah, but you didn't
$60.
clap.
$60.
You
It
didn't
was 60. It was 60.
But
I
for
did.
real, I'm
Didn't see that.
gonna need to honor. You're gonna need to honor the claps, guys. Going in. So Jacob, Jake has a lead 2-1, heading into the last
Bullshit, he didn't
question.
even clap.
Last question,
I did clap.
Jake. I'm gonna need to have the full hands on. You're gonna need to sit
The
back and
hands
full
are on
hands.
screen.
I know, but for this
That was
last
gonna
one,
kill me.
I want to keep it on the up and up. All right, gentlemen, hands at the ready. What was Summer of Arcade called in the Southern Hemisphere? Josh, I saw Josh.
Winter of Arcade.
Ding, 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 ding. All right. We are tied. Gentlemen, we are tied. We are going to need a tiebreaker here. I was not prepared for a tiebreaker. Give me 1 second to prepare this tiebreaker. So for this one, I don't want any cheating. I'm going to need pen and paper. You guys are going to have to write down your answer.
Oh. I don't have a pen and paper available.
How are you
What
guys
is
at
this
both?
shit?
How are you guys both at your desk and don't have a pen or paper?
It's a gaming desk, not a writer's
gaming
desk, butthole.
Oh, you're gonna have to use your blood then.
I'll just
I
use
have
my
a
phone.
pen. I
I'll
have a
just use
pen.
my phone.
All right. So yeah, use your phone. Type it on like a notes thing then. All right, gentlemen, what is one of the games released for Summer of Arcade in the year of our Lord 2013? There were only 4 that year. I don't want any cheating. All right, I see Jake. Josh, don't look.
Jake totally cheated. I saw him move.
There's no way you would have found out any of those. Maybe one. I can see one.
I will read
Can you
Jake's
read
answer. I will
backwards?
read Jake's answer out once Josh has given me an answer.
I know what he's typing.
Hold it up, Josh. Hold it up closer to the camera. Oh, is that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Flashback for Jake? Flashback for Jake, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for Josh. All right, we're going into double overtime. That's right.
How about first person bullshit?
Double overtime.
It helps if you don't cheat, Jake. I saw you scrolling.
I knew you did. There's no way you would have figured that out.
Okay, I was
And
not.
you chose the longest one to type.
It's because I was gonna pick flashback, but I saw yours. I was like, God damn, I can't pick flashback now.
Yeah, I was like, short.
I couldn't see the other two.
Who developed Shadow Complex? What developer made Shadow Complex? What's your answer, Josh?
Jake's right. It's Epic Games. I'm pretty sure. I give up. Jake can win. It's Epic Games.
We are still tied. It is not Epic Games. It was Chair
know.
Entertainment. You clowns. You clowns.
Man. I thought it was because, or maybe did Epic Games develop it or
They
publish it?
they published it.
They
Okay.
published it. Yeah, I was like, this. I know it's not right, but it's close.
All right, another developer answer. I will call for you guys to hold up your phone, so don't hold it up right away. So that way we don't have any looky-loos. Who developed the 2011 title Bastion? All right, I'm ready for your answers, gentlemen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Off. I got it right. It's Supergiant Games.
Yeah, Jake technically got it
It's
right.
the same. It's the same, you guys.
Not at all.
All right, Nick.
For a
Nick.
company, it has to be the full thing.
Nick, make it like a super difficult one, and then the first person who guesses it incorrectly.
Wait, what?
I'm
Then
already
we're just
making
gonna
it.
be
What are
here
you
not
talking about? I'm
saying
making them
anything.
super difficult, Josh.
Well, apparently not. 'Cause
Stop
we only
it. You
missed
stop
one.
it. They're already super. You guys both didn't know the last one. Hold on. Okay,
Yeah,
here we go.
Josh, you looked it up on your phone, you old butthole.
I'll look it up on my phone.
What was the best selling game of the 2010 Summer of Arcade? We're going to have claps for this one. The best selling title for Summer of Arcade in 2010. Jake. I saw
It
Jake's little birdie
was-
claps.
It was Limbo.
It was Limbo. Jake takes the win.
I don't even know what was 2009. I almost said Monday Night Combat. Is that one?
2010 was Monday night.
That was in the.
That was in there,
it.
but Limbo was the best selling one.
Because it was kind of hard. Because I don't think it was Castlevania. It could have been Lara Croft, but I know it wasn't Hydro
It
Thunder.
wouldn't have been. It wouldn't. Tomb Raider was on the way down at that point. Nobody cared about Hydro Thunder. Castlevania, like I think Castlevania and Monday Night Combat were in the running, but Limbo was just like such a runaway game that nobody expected.
I was thinking Limbo was 2011. I would never have guessed that. I thought it was Monday Night Combat, and I was like, I think that would have been it.
All right, so Jake wins. That means Josh is doing next week's Speed Cap, which is going to be about Braid. And I'm introducing this. Next week's Speed Cap, you only get 10 minutes. You get 10 minutes, Josh.
For a Summer of Arcade game, I could do it like that.
All right, you know what? 5 minutes,
Yeah,
Josh.
you thought about that
Whoa.
fancy tactics. So look what happened there.
I'm gonna speed you up there, kiddo. 5 minutes. We're speeding up the Speed Cap this next week. 5-minute
damn
Speed
it.
Cap. We'll tweak the score. We'll sit there and we'll tweak it. Don't you worry. All right, everyone. This has been Smashing Game Time. I'm Nick. You can find me on Twitter at _ThatKaufman and also at Twitch at NickFatKnight. Had to take a break recently to get some writing done, but coming back next week. Gonna do some RTS. Might play through the story of StarCraft 2. So that's where I'm at. Jake, where can the people find you?
Hey, you can find me at Jakey Boy Kaufman. I'm gonna say .com, not a website. Damn it. On Twitter and on Twitch, I'll be playing Brawlhalla and probably some TFT, but mainly Brawlhalla at the moment. I got a spring championship tournament coming up in May.
Nice. Joshua?
You can find me on Twitch at I'm Josh Saying. Twitter's being revamped, so I'll hopefully have that soon. And I think actually I'm going to stream this week.
What are you going to stream?
Ooh.
I haven't officially decided yet, but I'll see what you two think. I was thinking either Dying Light 2 or Cyberpunk 2077 because they're both on my backlog list.
I'd say whichever one you're more excited to play.
Yeah,
Probably Cyberpunk.
it's probably gonna be Dying Light too.
They're both up there. Is like so I've played a little bit of Cyberpunk since they've updated a lot of it. And I haven't run into any issues really. It's been running fine for me.
Go back to Tarkov so we can critique you.
Yeah, we'll critique your Tarkov game.
Dude, I'm Tarkov out, man.
That
I couldn't go back.
man's never going to escape Tarkov. You know what he is going to do? He's going to be in his backyard fighting dandelions after this podcast.
Plants versus Josh.
It's gonna be Dark Souls out there for me. I'm gonna keep tied to dandelions.
Wait,
I still
Josh
haven't
is
played Elden Ring.
Josh is
Still haven't
Dave.
played that.
Josh is the Dave guy from the Plants vs.
Oh,
Zombie
yeah.
with the pot on his head.
He said I need to go get my pot upstairs. and bring it down.
That'd be an easy Halloween costume. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
If you
but
get
people would have to
somebody dressed up-
understand. Like, they don't know what you are. I guess you have to put the plants or something in your pocket.
That'd be easy. You like glue, like have like one like glued to your
Like the
sleeve
pea
or something.
pod. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Pea shooters.
Well, everyone, we are smashing game time. We hope you had a smashing game time with us today. We'll be back next week when we do 2008 Q4 and Josh does the speed cap of Braid. That's right. I said it earlier. Braid. As always, thank you to Alex Marvin Clark for his song Hunt Him Down. Wow, taking a week off, you really forget all this. For Hunt Him Down is our intro outro song. And once again, if you haven't, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see y'all next week, folks. See ya.
Bring your kids.